Guys, we're reading about medieval law and order today, and let's go over the questions first. Number one, explain what ordeal by fire is. Two, explain what ordeal by water is. Three, explain what ordeal by combat is. Four, what were ordeals replaced with? Five, name two crimes and punishment you would receive for each one. And six, what was a gibbet used for? Medieval law and order. Law was very harsh in medieval England. It was believed that people would only learn how to behave properly if they feared what would happen to them if they broke the law. Even the smallest offenses had serious punishments. Each accused person had to go for an ordeal. There were three ordeals. Ordeal by fire. An accused person held a red hot iron bar and walked 3 paces. His hand was then bandaged and left for 3 days. If the wound was getting better after 3 days, you were innocent. If the wound had clearly not gotten any better, you were guilty. Ordeal by water. An accused person was tied up and thrown into water. If you floated, you were guilty of the crime you're accused of. Ordeal by combat. This was used by noblemen who had been accused of something. They would fight in combat with their accuser. Whoever won was right, and whoever lost was usually dead by the end of the fight. In 1215, the Pope decided that priests in England must not help with ordeals. As a result, ordeals were replaced by trial by jury. To start with, these were not popular with people as they felt that their neighbors might have a grudge against them and used the opportunity of a trial to get revenge. After 1275, a law was introduced which allowed people to be tortured if they refused to go to trial by jury. If you were found guilty of a crime, you were expected to face severe punishment. Thieves had their hands cut off. Women who committed murder were strangled and burnt. People who illegally hunted in rural parks had their ears cut off. And high treason was punishable by being hung, drawn, and quartered. There were very few prisons as they cost money, and local communities were not prepared to pay for their upkeep. It was cheaper to execute someone for bad crimes or mutilate them and then let them go. Most towns had a gibbet just outside of it. People were hung on these, and their bodies left to rot over the weeks as they warned others. However, such violent punishments clearly did not put people off. In 1202, the city of Lincoln had 114 murders, 89 violent robberies, and 65 people were wounded in fights. Only 2 people were executed for these crimes, and it can be concluded that many in Lincoln got away with their crime. I got to answer those 6 questions, if you would, please.